The FAW launched its Grassroots strategy in 2024. So a few months in, we thought we'd take a look and see how the document called Enhancing Lives Through Football was being implemented.
We spent 12 months actually consulting with the Grassroots football family, lots of public consultation events and online surveys to really try and find out what the frustrations and the challenges were out in the game. So about, I think it was February of this year, we launched the FAW's very first Grassroots strategy entitled Enhancing Lives Through Football, which is a real nod to the impact that football can make on an individual's life. And it's not all about what happens on the pitch on a Saturday afternoon. I think that opportunity to talk about the FAW's approach now over the next 6 years in particular, and the emphasis of the Grassroots strategy on growing and supporting the volunteers that are involved in the game, a real emphasis on how we support our off-pitch volunteers, challenging the poor behaviours that take place in the game as well, both on and off the pitch. We really want to support our clubs to be inclusive and sustainable, and the way that they engage with the community is really important in that as well. Grassroots football facilities was always a problem, so we worked really closely with the Cymru Football Foundation to help clubs to be able to access grant funding, but also the way that we need to work with local authorities on their own facility development aspirations. So there's a lot that's built into that strategy that hopefully answers a lot of the challenges that are in the game.
We start our journey through Welsh football in Neath. In November 2024, we saw the restart of competitive disability football. South Wales and Gwent clubs voted in favour of the competitive matches. There'll also be further events in North and West Wales.
The FAW Grassroots strategy has 6 pillars, and 2 of those, one's participation, another one's inclusion. Now, if you look at Wales nationally, there's a network of disability football clubs out there, and that's really great, but there's still a lot of gaps in that. What we've done the last few months is standardise the match rules. At the moment, some of the leagues are competitive, some aren't. This one is going competitive from today. And that's great, ultimately all of these leagues are shaped by clubs and players and what do they want.
The way that this works is for the adults at least, they use a banding system. So the Champions League is like for the highest banding, like players that have a tactical awareness, have an element of fitness. Premiership and Championship then less so. And I've definitely seen players that have started in the Championship that have moved up, playing even in the top division now.
Even with competition, it's not a sort of win at all costs. It's still, let's provide a level opportunity for everybody to compete. And then it's a great chance really for these guys to then compete on a level that's designed for them.
And that's the point of all of this, is to give people a chance to play football that wouldn't normally get a chance to play.
Also, mental health is massive, and it's silent sometimes, and people don't realise, just walking past that someone could be suffering. But this is a bit of a release when you're playing football. You're pushed into leadership as well. Sometimes if you're capable, and that can give you build on confidence. Obviously, being part of a team is another confidence thing, because I know there's a lot of people that I know who struggle to communicate in big places. So this is a chance for them to do all that.
Some people we have come to us, really bad with social situations and things. They probably don't go out much and stuff like that. They come to us in a safe area. They know everyone's equal. There's no one different, and no one has to live up to anything. Nothing's pro. We just there to have a bit of fun, a kick about with like-minded people, and basically just enjoy. And I think that's what football is. It doesn't matter what language you speak. Football speaks for itself. Everyone deserves an opportunity to have a bit of fun.
It feels so good, and it feels like I'm famous around here, and it's good that everyone get out and play football together. It improves my mental health, it improves my, it's getting to meet new people and build my friends list up. And I think it's good to play football, experience new challenges.
I've been here over a year and I love it. I know all the players, I get along with everyone in the team.
I would just say anyone in a bad place or anyone who knows someone in a bad place, just take them along to one of these groups. Wherever they can't play football, if it's just for the social side of it, tea, coffee, whatever, or just to meet new friends, And not only that, there's volunteering opportunities. You don't have to play football. There's certificates, first aid courses. It's something for everyone, So I just think it's vital in these little areas to go on to.
So what we want to do over the coming years is start more of these. Events like this are really great. They could be bigger, and we could have more of them. If you're a club and you want to start disability football, then yeah, absolutely go for it would be my advice. There's a lot of ways the FAW can help. We offer coach bursaries. We can help you link in with grants to help, with facility hire or other costs like travel and transport for it. And we can help make networks for you to recruit players as well. And what we want to get it to a place where is that growth just continues, but it also isn't a secret. It becomes more known, more widespread.
There's no one-size-fits-all for our clubs in terms of producing a wide range of football to suit our own individual communities. Our FC Cymru team were blown away by the work going on at Dundee. Volunteers giving up their time for inclusive sessions for children, which brings so many benefits for the youngsters, but also for their carers.
Dundee AFC is really proud to be part of the community, and we do a lot of activities associated with our Platinum Ward, which includes the McDonald's Fun Football. We do the girls huddle football as well, and we do a lot of support for the community as well. Charities like Ready Steady Go, who have worked with us for setting up autism and disability sessions, which we run for a couple of years now, and those sessions were very much a conversation with myself and Tracy Rowland, who is the charity manager for that charity, to think about something else we could add to the portfolio of what we already do. We also support lots of other activities in the community, so we support the local running club, the local rugby club, and other activities like that.
While ensuring the player offering is widened and inclusive, there's also a desire to ensure that clubs across the country move to being more sustainable, and they change with the world around us.
Many years ago, when we were looking at the idea of the microhydro plant through the past with Community First, that's where the microhydro scheme obviously gave birth. And obviously we always, because of the location we're in terms of its mining history, there was always a recognition of looking at obviously black to green because of its coal mining past, and then looking at its regeneration as a country park, and obviously looking at the renewable side then by the development of the microhydro plant, looking how we can install PV, solar, electric car charging, all of those things. So a big target for us is to be as sustainable as we possibly can ourselves with our facilities run through green energy.
Other clubs have been looking at how they can secure funding to make themselves more sustainable.
Graham, Newtown here, I've had a grant from the Cymru Football Foundation to improve the floodlights at the club. Can you tell us a bit about that grant and exactly what has gone on here? Back in last summer, the club made the decision to go LED. They applied to the Welsh FA for a grant. They were given the overall cost was 50,000, and they were given 44,000 grant, and that gives us a big saving of about 60% on full floodlights. It gives us massive flexibility where we can have half the pitch, we can have a quarter of the pitch lit up, we can have walk-in levels of light, or we can even put a light show if it's needed,
It's a huge financial incentive for us. Running the football club is expensive. The costs were escalating, so this grant to allow us to change to LEDs has really been massively beneficial on a financial basis for us.
So plenty for the clubs and already busy volunteers to think about. The question is, how can they be supported? Well, there is a commitment within the Grassroots strategy for the FAW to help with growth. And to facilitate that, the association has had to grow as well.
Yeah, we're in a really fortunate position where we've got a workforce that's on the ground as well, and club development staff and participation staff who are literally sitting in clubhouses and changing rooms with clubs to try and support them on application writing, and as I mentioned earlier on, whatever those aspirations for the club are, or it might be a governance issue or a workforce issue. But we've got a great team that are operating on the ground, and then we've got the likes of the Football Services Centre, that full-time contact centre who you can pick up the phone to at almost any time of day, any day of the week, to be able to ask whatever that question might be, and at the very least be pointed in the right direction to an answer.
The FAW is there to help. Facilities are available, support is available. It's a case of come and get it.
So much that goes into running, whether it's a club, a league, a regional association, so much that goes into it. It's an opportunity for us to share knowledge. I think it's just that community aspect, the realisation that, in society these days, football these days, it's not just about the football, it's not just about the traditional football pyramid and football is played at 2-3 p.m. on a Saturday afternoon. It's about community, it's about everything outside of football as well that comes into it. So there's a real realisation of that, and that we need to do more in those spaces to help grow the game and and build community.
Now, a major issue facing football in Cymru is not only growing the base of referees, but also the retention of those who've already become officials. In North Wales, support and training groups are being held to give referees valuable help.
My name is Pete Brown. I am a referee mentor for the North Wales Coast FA. I got into mentoring because when I was refereeing, one of our junior referees was abused. And I got quite upset about that. So I said, next week I won't referee, I'm going to go and support. And I'll offer them some tips and some help just so that I know they're on good ground. And from there it's developed into what it is now, where I have fortnightly sessions and I go out and I watch referees and I give them feedback. Now when you first go out on a football pitch, you're on your own. It's a daunting situation to be in. So it's absolutely vital that they come to things like this where they're given good advice, where they're given sound knowledge, if you like, to go into a game with confidence.
They've helped a lot, you know. Like getting started, it can be scary. I know I was scared my first game because there's all these people watching you, they're all judging you. And these sessions help you improve as a referee and they build confidence really. And that's what I really like about them.
The Sin Bins initiative that's coming into grassroots football this year, which is about protecting our referees and reducing the abuse and discrimination that they face. That's a big change for grassroots football this year. So an opportunity, as an example, to talk to us here and our lead match officials and our grassroots department about how that might impact grassroots football this year, hopefully in a really positive way.
The introduction of Sin Bins, we had Sin Bins last year in the South Wales Alliance League. That's made a big difference. As a referee observer now, we are building the referees up. I think along with the FAW, it's given an opportunity and a pathway for referees to go forward, because we've got to try and retain them, because no referee, no game really.
Facilities, the quality of and access to is a major issue for clubs across the country. This is a key part of the grassroots strategy. The FAW, Cymru Football Foundation and other organisations now have funding available to help develop facilities and work with clubs that have plans. Some, like FAWales in Ceredigion, have secured funding for their pitch.
Yes, it is a dome-style pitch, and a lot of teams when they come here they are a bit shocked where we can't even see the legs from the other side of the pitch of the players, or the linesman has a big difficulty when he comes here. So we're luckily looking at next year, we're looking to try and level the pitch. We've been successful, well, waiting for permission to proceed by the FAW Cymru Foundation Fund. And if all goes well, we can put proper drainage and level the field, so we've got a lovely pitch going forward.
Others, like Rogerstone, are redeveloping facilities that have been left dilapidated.
We knew that if the team was to get into the Welsh League, that our old ground that we loved just wasn't fit for purpose. So we decided we needed a new home. We then came across what was a disused rugby ground, and that's where the journey began.
It was completely unfit for use, and everything we've done has just been the essentials to make sure we can play up here. So, you know, we had to have a pitch, we had to have change rooms, it all came together within sort of 2 or 3 months of each other. So it's brilliant for us, it's nice to have a home in sort of one facility.
We did get some grants from the FAW who were brilliant, and we've just used funds that we've raised from subs, fundraising activities, sponsoring kits, and just relied so much on volunteer work from within the community. So the volunteer work, if I'm honest, has been the real driver behind all this.
The Cymru Football Foundation are an important part of this process, and we found out more about their work with a club called Melodin in North East Cymru.
We're tasked with transforming the football landscape from a facility perspective right across Wales, supporting clubs where historically they may have found it difficult to access funding.
The pitch that we had before was horrifically bobbly, if you like. The drainage system completely didn't work, we didn't have one. So we had an hour usage out of it every week, and obviously, you know, a game of football is 90 minutes, so it tells you how bad it actually was. It's a very small village. The club's run by, you know, a very small committee.
Melodin as a village is, quite socially deprived. It is, being honest. So we've never really had any big investment in the village in terms of anything really, socially, agriculturally. So when I went for this, I just wanted to highlight a bit about the deprivation and what Melodin hasn't had over the years. So I went to Cymru Football Foundation. I wanted a club that was part of the community, want a junior section, kids 5 to 15. So to have the Cymru Football Foundation believe in, not just the club but the actual village itself, it'll be amazing for Melodin to have this facility. Given the project's coming to hopefully a completion, is for the grass to take hold and for the weather to be kind. But yeah, what we're hoping in Melodin's case is for be the catalyst for the club to continue growing. We had construction for 2 months, and to see how it is now, it's just like, it's unbelievable. I didn't think we'd be able to deliver it as it is. We're very surprised at how well it took and how quickly the grass seed took. So yeah, it's just great. And we're back home now. We started back on the 1st of October, and all the lads love it and we love it and we're so proud of it. Our crowds are a lot bigger now. I think a lot of people come down just to see the pitch. Obviously the lads will probably want to think it's them, but it's definitely the pitch, and everyone's talking about it and talking really well about it. So yeah, it's fantastic to see. A pitch like this will set us up for the future by being able to have more hours of football played every week. So previously we were only able to play an hour, not even that. But now we've got 9 hours of playing time. So it will hold well. It will allow us to create more teams for them to play on it, as well as the men's team. It seems very daunting at first, but there's so many amazing people on the Cymru Football Foundation who help you the whole way through. Alan James is one of the main people who's amazing with me, sat with me every week, FaceTime, phone calls, helped me all the way through the application, and what a reward for putting that work in. This is what you can have, like a village like Melodin. Anyone else can do it and do it. That's what I would say.
Facilities that are fit for future purpose is a really big part of the funding process. In 2024, the FAW announced a huge leap in female participation. Some 16,000 girls and women are now registered and playing football, so it's vital that clubs consider female-friendly facilities. It's also really important to engage with other sports in order to play a significant role in ensuring sport is right at the heart of our communities. Pontyr in South East Cymru was visited by Rhian Wilkinson, so she could see firsthand how cricket and football had come together.
Facilities like this, just seeing all these young people participating in football here, but also cricket, is really the central element to club. We know that the work that's being done to provide changing rooms, locker rooms, specifically for female membership as well, really does go to show and prove to them that they're as valued as the boys and the men that play here as well. But this I think we were told that they've been playing cricket in this village since the 1800s. This community, this piece of land has been for the community for 50 odd years, and just seeing it brought again to life, new birth, and then seeing all the new young membership. So access to facilities, changing rooms, locker rooms, bathrooms, as well as the fields for young girls is critical for the growth of the game, but also the health of our young girls in Wales. It's about showing them or giving them the opportunity to understand, to learn about a healthy environment and lifestyle. As the Welsh football coach, I do hope every young girl chooses to play football, but equally I always ask them what other sports they play. It's about making sure they know that sport is as much for them as it is for their brothers. It's the same for their mums, by the way, who haven't had those opportunities. And as we grow, we're a small country here in Wales, but that can't be a reason why we're not taking care of the grassroots landscape. In fact, it's a reason why we have to, taking care of the game at every level. So it's lovely to see it happening here, and I hope to see it more and more across this country.
I think it's a springboard for the club to be even more successful.
Although I'd say that we are actually pretty successful. We've already attracted close on 200 girl footballers. So when they asked to come to us, they were pretty much knocking on an open door. So we took them on board, as it were. It wasn't easy because we didn't have the facilities then that were actually mature enough to take on that level of football, really, just that level of activity. But we've managed to get through it, and the facilities are maturing. It's even down to how deep the root is on the grass, as to how well the grass can withstand the amount of play. And we're just about getting there now. And then obviously the change, we needed to get really much improved changing facilities. So instead of 2 tiny change rooms and a communal shower, we've now got 4, well, league standard changing rooms, and with integrated ensuite shower for showering and toilet facilities. And we've got facilities for officials and disabled, and which is fantastic.
It makes me kind of emotional sometimes, because to think that not even that long ago girls weren't allowed to play football, do any sports or anything like that, and in such a short amount of time it's changed so much. It makes me feel proud, really proud, that I'm a part of this welcoming community and just a part of this brilliant atmosphere.
This is the exciting thing for me as someone who comes in at the very top of the football pyramid. It only works when the bottom is healthy and thriving, and that's what we see alive and well here today.
And I guess Rianne has neatly explained why grassroots football is so important. From coaches, club secretaries, treasurers, chairs, first aiders, ground staff, T-bar volunteers, bar staff, players young and old, and more that we simply don't have time to mention, Welsh football runs on volunteer hours. And Enhancing Lives Through Football gives a living document to how they can be supported in making it as successful as possible.